Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for watching my video. Today I wanted to talk about worship guitar inversions. Basically just playing chords up the neck so we can play up over here instead of just playing all of our chords down here. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to keep watching and I'll teach you guys a few major chords and a few minor chords so that you can play any key and feel confident in it. First we're going to start out with some major chords, and all of these I'm going to have linked right here. I'll have a star next to the root. So the root of the chord just means that's going to be the note that makes the chord. So for instance, a G chord, the root is that top G right there. That G note is how you know it's a G. So if we moved it up, we'd make it an A. Alright, so anyways, root note determined by the star. Make sure to look at that star. This first chord that I'm teaching you, major chord inversion, the root note is determined by the B string. I'm just going to play the B an octave up on the B string. That's what it sounds like. So those three notes together. If I was to move it down one fret, it'd be a B flat chord. If I was to move it down again, it'd be an A chord. And again, that's determined by the B string, what note you're on. I could move it all the way down here, play an E. So you can basically play any chord all the way up and down with that. Alright, next chord inversion. The root note is actually on two strings, so you can look at the E string to determine it, or you can look at the G string, whatever you prefer. I personally use the high E string to determine, so I'll play a D right here. So there's a chord. That's what it sounds like. And that's a D because I'm playing a D note on that E string. So next chord inversion. This one is also one that you can use the E string or you can use the D string to determine the chord. I again use the E string just to keep it easy. So again, that same D, I'm going to start with that D note on the E string. And that's also a D chord. So my last one was this one. So they have a little different texture, but same chord. And I can move that D. I can move it down 2 frets, make it a C chord. Move it down another fret, make it a B chord. Down 2, make it an A. So you can see how you can keep moving that whichever way you want. Alright, and the last major chord, you're going to start similar to the first one. You'll bar the first finger, and then you'll play that out. Now, this one is determined just like the first chord I showed you by the B string. Wherever your B string note is, that's what chord it is. I'm playing without that optional note. You'll notice I wrote the word optional on one of the notes. You can play this note if you want to, so it'd sound more like... Totally up to you, whatever you prefer. Alright, that's it for the major chords. Now I'll teach you the minor chords. First minor chord, this one is determined by the G string. Whatever note you're on that G string is going to determine the minor chord. That's what it sounds like. Okay, and you can move that up and down as well. I could move it up to make it an A minor. I can move it down to make it an F minor, E minor, D minor. You can move it up and down whichever way you want. Next minor chord, this is similar to the last major chord I taught you, except for you're taking out one of the notes. So this one is determined by the D string. So if I was up here, that would be a D minor. And again, you have the optional note, totally up to you if you want to play that one. And then you can also move that down from D minor. You can move it up to E minor, down to C minor, whichever way you want. Alright, last minor chord I'm going to teach you. This one is similar to the first major chord I taught you, but that highest note is brought down 1. It's determined by the B string, so if we were to make a B minor, it would sound like this. And that's with my middle note on the B string. I can move it down to an A minor or a G minor and so forth. Alright, sweet. Those are the main major and minor chords that I use for electric guitar playing voicings. Those sound great. If you can learn all of those, I think there's 4 of each, then you will be set for a lot of songs. The biggest thing is figuring out where the notes are on the guitar neck so that you can find the chords really easily. So get to know the roots of the chord that I labeled with the star and start to play random songs. Pick random keys for your songs and just try to find voicings for them. Start to use these major and minor chords and find voicings on the guitar neck, and that'll help you a ton. I did have 2 more chords also to show you guys. These are power chords, which just means that they can be either a major or a minor, so you can use them for both. One of them is going to be really similar to one of the major chords I taught you. That one, but we're going to bring our pinky up a little bit. So, alright, and that's determined. The root is on the E string, so this is an E, D, C, and so forth. And the other power chord I want to teach you is determined by either the D or the B string. I use the B string, but it's up to you. So this is a B chord. And then if I was to make it a C, I'd just move it up 1 fret. Move it an A, I'd move it down. G. Alright, so those are the chords. Those 2 power chords you can apply to minor or major. They work for both. So those are also great to have in the toolbox. I hope that helps, guys. Practice those a ton. It takes a little bit. Get those shapes into your mind and start practicing them. Start to run through random songs and utilize them, and they'll start to stick in. Keep practicing them until you're comfortable. I think there were 9 chords total that I showed you guys. 4 major chords, 3 minor chords, and 2 power chords. Learn all of those. Become familiar with them, comfortable with them, and then learn how to move them up and down the neck. You can play in any key, and it sounds a ton better in worship music than playing down here the whole time, just sort of mimicking the acoustic, which is what I see a lot of beginner electric guitarists do. As always, use a metronome to help your timing out. And thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions or anything else you want to learn about. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.